Have you ever felt like the odds were stacked so high against you that success seemed impossible? What if I told you that even in the darkest moments, a single spark of determination could ignite a fire that changes everything? This is the story of Jake, a homeless teenager who turned his life around to become a millionaire, and it all started with a decision. At just 16, Jake found himself alone on the streets. His father had passed away years ago, and his mother's struggles with addiction left him with no stable home. Nights were spent curled up on park benches, shivering under thin blankets, with an empty stomach as his only companion. During the day, he roamed the city, scavenging for food and avoiding the judgmental stares of strangers. But Jake wasn't just fighting for survival. He was battling the voice in his head that whispered, "You'll never make it. This is your life now." One fateful morning, Jake wandered into the local library to escape the cold. There he stumbled upon a book left open on a table, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. The title caught his eye. Rich, Jake muttered to himself. He hadn't thought about wealth. He was just trying to stay alive. Curiosity got the better of him, and he started reading. The words struck a chord deep within him. Success begins with a burning desire. It was as though the book was speaking directly to him, daring him to dream beyond his circumstances. That day, Jake decided he wouldn't let homelessness define him. With no money and no formal education, Jake had to get creative. He spent hours in the library devouring books on business, personal development, and entrepreneurship. Every page he turned felt like a new window opening in his mind. He discovered stories of people who had overcome insurmountable odds, and he began to believe that if they could do it, so could he. Jake didn't just read passively. He took notes, mapped out ideas, and visualized a future where he could rise above his struggles. He also watched free tutorials online, learning about marketing, finance, and communication skills. Every piece of knowledge became a stepping stone toward a better life. But knowledge alone wasn't enough. He needed action. Jake knew he couldn't afford to wait for a miracle. He had to create one. He started looking for odd jobs, saving every dollar he earned. He picked up trash, cleaned windows, and even washed cars. Whatever the task, he gave it his all, knowing that each small step was bringing him closer to his dream. One day, while washing cars in a wealthy neighborhood, Jake overheard two men discussing their struggles with social media marketing. They were business owners, frustrated by their inability to connect with their audience online. Jake had been studying marketing strategies and saw this as an opportunity. Summoning all his courage, he approached them. "Excuse me," he said, his voice trembling but steady. "I couldn't help but overhear. I've been learning about social media marketing, and I think I could help you." The men exchanged skeptical looks. Here was a teenager in ragged clothes, claiming he could solve their problems. But something about Jake's determination intrigued them. They decided to give him a chance. Jake worked tirelessly on their project, delivering results that exceeded their expectations. His fresh perspective and innovative strategies helped their business gain traction online. Impressed by his dedication, the men recommended him to their network. Word spread, and soon more clients came Jake's way. Jake reinvested every dollar he earned into learning and growing his skills. He taught himself web design, graphic creation, and advanced marketing techniques. He took free and low-cost online courses, gradually building a portfolio of satisfied clients. As his reputation grew, so did his confidence. Within 2 years, Jake had built his own digital marketing agency. By the time he turned 20, Jake was no longer homeless. He was running a thriving business, employing a small team, and earning more money than he had ever imagined. At 25, he hit his first million. Jake's success wasn't just about the money. It was about proving to himself that he was capable of more than he ever thought possible. He had turned his pain into purpose, his struggles into stepping stones. Despite his success, Jake never forgot where he came from. He remembered the cold nights, the empty stomach, and the feeling of being invisible. He knew there were thousands of teens just like him, battling hopelessness and despair. So he decided to give back. Jake started a foundation to help homeless youth, providing them with mentorship, education, and opportunities to build a better future. Through his foundation, he funded scholarship programs, organized workshops on financial literacy, and created job placement initiatives. He became a mentor, sharing his story to inspire others to believe in their potential. At a speaking event years later, Jake stood before an audience of thousands. He began with a simple question: "What's your excuse?" The crowd fell silent. "I was a homeless teenager with no money, no family support, and no education," he continued. "But I had a dream and a decision. I decided that my circumstances wouldn't define me, and if I can do it, so can you." Jake's story is proof that where you start doesn't determine where you end up. Life will throw challenges your way, but it's not about what happens to you. It's about what you do next. What's holding you back from chasing your dreams? Is it fear, doubt, or the belief that your circumstances are too tough to overcome? Take one small step today. Read that book, watch that tutorial, or reach out to someone who can guide you. Jake's journey teaches us that success isn't about making giant leaps. It's about taking consistent, intentional steps. Even when the path ahead seems impossible, remember that every small action brings you closer to your goal. Like Jake, you have the power to turn your struggles into stepping stones. The question is, will you take the first step?